Welcome to Friendly Math 101. Today's lesson is over parallel line theorems. There are 5 theorems we're going to talk about today. All of these theorems have to do with this diagram. We have 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. So I've started by labeling 2 angles. One is x degrees, one is y degrees. And if you see up here in the corner, it says x plus y equals 180. Well, that is actually our first theorem. This one is called same side interior angles. So, same side interior angles, the interior part means it's going to be inside the parallel lines. The same side part means it's on the same side of the transversal. So, I have my x and my y. These two will always be supplementary, meaning they're going to equal 180. So that is our same side interior angles theorem. Our next theorem is the alternate interior angles. Again, we have interior angles, which means we're going to be inside the parallel lines. Alternate, though, means they're going to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So if I look down here at this angle at x degrees, on the opposite side of the transversal, that is going to be the same angle measure. That will also be x degrees, and it would work the same way with y. This is y degrees here, so its alternate interior angle is going to also be y degrees. Again, it's going to work like that every single time. Our third theorem is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles mean if you look at one of your parallel lines, and we're going to pick one angle, I'll pick this one here, x. So if I look at this parallel line, this is x degrees. I want to find that same spot on my other parallel line. So this one's at the top on the right hand side of the transversal. So if I'm looking at this at the top on the right hand side of the transversal, this will also be x degrees. Those are corresponding angles. They're in the same position, just on the different parallel line. Same thing works for the other side as well. So if this is y degrees here, its corresponding angle will be on the top on the left hand side of the transversal, and that is the same or congruent, so that is y degrees. Our fourth theorem is same side exterior angles. So again, we're going to be same side of the transversal, so I'll just pick this side, this right hand side. But now we're looking at exterior angles, which means we're going to be on the exterior of the parallel lines. So in here is interior. Anywhere else is exterior. So exterior is going to be here and here. This is the same side of the transversal. We're looking at the right hand side. And this theorem states that these are supplementary angles. So I already have this one labeled as x. Well, I already have a supplementary angle to x, and it's y. So that tells me that this is y degrees. Same thing would happen on the other side. If this is y degrees, its supplementary angle would be x degrees there. And we also have alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. If you see, we already have all our angles. We already have a measure for all of them. So I'm just going to confirm this by looking at my alternate exterior angles. They should be the same degree measure. So again, I'm on the exterior, so I'm going to be looking on the outsides of the parallel lines, and I'm going to be looking on alternate sides of the transversal. So exterior, I'll just start with this x. The alternate side would be all the way down here. They are congruent, so that theorem checks out. And again, every time you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, this will always be true. So let's start with our first example. We're going to find the measure of angle A, the measure of angle B, and the measure of angle C. Okay, so first of all, if I look at these two right here, these are interior and they're same side. Same side interior angles are supplementary. So that means 105 plus A equals 180. Solve for A and we get 75 degrees. So the measure of angle A is 75 degrees. The measure of angle B, if you look at angle A and angle B are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are always congruent, so the measure of angle B is also 75 degrees. Then we have this angle C here. Well, the easiest thing to look at with angle C is we see this line. Lines are 180 degrees. That means this angle measure is 180 degrees. And we know that B is 75 degrees. So to get C, we just take the whole angle minus the part we know, and we will get C is 105 degrees. Another way to look at it is these are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. So C is equal to 105. For our last example here, we want to solve for x and for y. So the first thing I notice is I have two angles here that these are going to add up to 180 because it forms a line. However, I don't want to start with that because I have an x and a y. That's not going to work out for me. I'm not going to be able to solve. But I do have two x's here. These are same side interior angles and they add up to 180 because they're supplementary. So I'm going to set them equal to each other and I can solve for x since they both have the same variable. 2x plus 3x is 5x. To get x by itself, we divide both sides by 5. The 5's are going to 1 out. We get x is equal to 36. So that's part of our answer. Now that we have x is equal to 36, I actually want to plug those in here so we can figure out the angle measures of these. So if we plug in x here, 36 times 3 is 108 degrees. If we plug in x here, 2 times 36 is 72 degrees. Now that we have these actual numbers, we can easily solve for this. There's two ways we can do it. These two are supplementary angles, so we can set them equal to 180. Or here we have alternate interior angles. These angle measures are equal. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to set these two equal to each other. So 2y plus 20 equals, and I want to actually use the number. I don't want to use the x because that would make me get stuck. I wouldn't be able to solve for y. Now we just solve, so I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. I get 2y, these 0 out, equals 88. And divide by 2. The 2's 1 out there. I get y is equal to 44. And that is my second answer there. Thank you for watching, and for more math tutorials, please subscribe to our channel, Friendly Math 101.